dogs. There are actually 700,000 people that own a registered dog in New Zealand. Like Lauren, for example. Lauren has, she's got a problem. She's been, she loves her dog Barney, but she is looking for somebody to look after the dog over the holidays. She's been searching through kennels and looking on Facebook, but she's not been able to find somebody that she can trust to look after her dog. And then we have someone like Heath. Heath is a DIND, which is a double income no dog. There is 1.44 million people that fit into the DIND category. Heath grew up with dogs his entire life, and he absolutely loves dogs. He's got a kid that is young, and he wants his kid to experience dogs, but at the same time, he's a hard worker and he doesn't know whether he can commit. So, with Lauren, who is looking for a temporary stay for her dog, and with Heath, who's looking for a temporary experience, we've got a perfect solution. That solution is Fostr.
Fostr has been extensively researched. Over 200 people have filled out one of our survey forms. We used the results from that to inspire our dev team, design team, and business management team to come up with a fantastic solution that provides a triple win. A win for the pet owner, Laura, a win for the person that wants the dog, Heath, and a win for the dog. Instead of going to a scary kennel, they get to go into a loving environment in a house with people that would like to experience a pet without having the long-term commitment of owning a dog. Some of the people we talked to were actually dog owners and discussed the fact they wouldn't mind taking on another dog, strangely enough. Some of the people also said that rather than put a dog into a kennel, they would like an option that was more reassuring and more tailored to their particular needs. If you were away on holiday and you panic about your dog, maybe you'd like a quick video or a photo just to ensure that your dog was happy. Now Lauren, being a dog owner, might have a bit of anxiety about being called away suddenly on a business trip or a wedding or something that you wouldn't want to miss out on. But if it happened to be Christmas and your kennels were booked out, you might actually struggle to find a kennel or a friend to take your dog. That is where the fee comes in. Lauren signs up in a subscription manner to our service, provides the food and delivers the dog to Heath, who also pays a small fee for stuff like steam cleaning of carpets in case the dog leaves a bit of a mess. We've looked around at different prices for kennels and different options for similar services overseas and have tried to pitch ourselves in a position that falls kind of in the middle of the road. It takes about 2.5 years before we can realise a profit. We've gone with a strategy that's very expensive on picking up new customers because we need a reasonably large customer base to make it effective across the greater Auckland area, which is our target market. We have a social media platform, somebody that loves social media, and an idea to work with some NGOs, shops and vets. We went out and talked to 3 or 4 large chain stores to figure out what our upsell possibilities, toys, treats, other expendables for animals are. And in the future we would like to roll out to the rest of New Zealand and then obviously dominate the world. Our talented dev team has put together quite a feat in 2 days, I might add. Not only have we got a mock-up website, we also have a mock-up app. It shows basic functionality and the type of design we would like to put forward for people to use.
So I think you mentioned there were 1.4 million dings, was that?
Dins.
Dings. So out of that 1.4 million, how many are actually interested in looking after a dog for an experience, and within that, how many are actually prepared to pay for the privilege of that rather than maybe doing a friend a favour or a family member a favour?
To address the first part of your question, out of the 600,000 or so people that we predict may be interested in this service, not many of them upfront would have been interested in paying a fee to look after somebody's dog, up until the point where you point out that it is a dog and it might make a mess, and that $9 would sort of help pay for some stem cleaning if it became necessary. So it's more of an insurance feature than a cost on the customer.
Right, so is the idea that $9 effectively is margin neutral because you'll have some costs in that line?
How would you guarantee, I guess, the safety of somebody's beloved pet?
One of the main reasons why it takes nearly 2.5, 3 years to become revenue positive is because of the vetting process. It is quite an expensive thing. It's also that we intend on spending a reasonable amount of time marketing to the right type of people. So it is quite an expensive acquisition per customer model. But in that way, we're aiming to get the best quality customers first.
And just a question on the revenue model. So Lauren pays $15 a month whether she uses the service or not, or is it?
Yes, it is. Yes, that's correct. Some of the UK models are actually quite a lot more expensive than that, but they do almost not guarantee exclusivity, but they sort of guarantee that the people have been properly vetted. And it is quite an expensive process to do that to the level that dog owners expect.
And have you actually defined that level? So have you defined that sort of validation level? Other than it being expensive?
We searched up a lot of websites such as Hurrah and SPCA that do fostering for animals, and we looked up their vetting process, and SPCA has a form which you fill out, and they do a police check, criminal history check, and any check on if you're whether an animal abuser or not. Hurrah has representatives that come to your house and they check out your property, and they judge it against the criteria and say whether you are eligible or not. So we do something that is a mixture of both, but maybe not copy them, but definitely base our model of this.
We actually have a phone with the mock-up app if you'd like to see our... Oh, you've got it.
Thanks. And how many, sorry, for year one you had, Matt got it wrong, 200,000 inputs revenue or something like that. How many accommodation nights and how many active users is that?
Our first customers, the early adopters, free for the first 1,000. The next 1,000 is the sort of 1% slice of the market for New Zealand that we're going for, which basically started in Auckland, so it'll be obviously a lot smaller than that. The second year would be hopefully doubling that, and then a doubling and a doubling up until we met capacity in Auckland.
So, sorry, how many active users do you need in the first year then?
About 5,000 paid active users, and 1,000 would be the first initial free customers to get people on board.
Have you thought much about dog to fosterer compatibility and what would happen in the event that they just don't get on?
That is a very good question. We would hope that people that were looking to take the dogs would be properly vetted, and that in the event of a doggy emergency, that we have some way to contact not only the owner but also an on-call vet.